Greetings, YouTube. I can't tell you how many summoners I've heard from in 2020 that have told me that I was quote unquote ahead of the curve. It's a joke, obviously that's not necessarily true. But that they, too, knowing that I have now been Alliance War celibate for over a year now, have wanted to either join the ranks of not doing Alliance War at all, or at least go to a casual alliance. Maybe they do one or two battle groups of war. Maybe they like to do enough wars to at least get the rewards, but they don't want to do war every week. They hate the new defenders. They hate the new maps. They hate the matchmaking system. They hate that their best champions are often their defenders and are locked into place. They hate that their best attackers either have to go into war or they can't take them into Alliance Quest or Event Quest or the side quest, etc. On and on and on. I've heard it all. So Kabam likely has heard it all too, and that's what brings us to today's forum post, where the Alliance War Season 19 is set to have a new matchmaking system, new maps, new nodes, and new path identities. So, after his defeat at the hands of the Summoner and Karina, the Grandmaster has been an elder without a calling. Despite the problems and conflicts that the Grandmaster and the Collector have caused, they are still Karina's family, and still she loves them very much. So, instead of banishing them to a far-off island, she's worked with her council to create a plan to keep the two of them busy and out of trouble. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so June 24th, that is 6 days from now, all map changes will take effect. So, 2 brand new maps, one for Alliance is playing on Easy and Normal, and one for Alliance is playing on Intermediate, Hard, Challenger, and Expert. Interesting. Easy and Normal looks pretty standard. Actually, let's be real. This looks like an Alliance Quest map for, say, Map 5. Intermediate, Hard, Challenger, and Expert, well, kind of looks like Map 6. I don't know. The Grandmaster has crafted the following nodes. Strike, Counter, Fury. The attacker starts with 3 light charges, 3 medium charges, and 2 heavy charges. The charge is removed whenever the attacker lands a corresponding attack, and all charges are reset when the attacker lands a special attack. When any charge reaches 0, the defender gains a Fury passives over time until charges are reset. Strike, Counter, Combat, Power Rate. Similar thing, only when any charge reaches 0, the attacker's power rate decreases over time until the charges are reset. Steady build-up Fury. Defender has 100% increased defensive ability accuracy. Unblockable Steady build-up, 100% increased defensive ability accuracy. And then when the attacker has 3 more debuffs, the defender becomes unblockable until the attacker has 0 debuffs. That sounds like it puts the FU in fun. Ebb and Flow, everybody's favorite. Intercept, Knockdown, Power Drain. And then we've got the buff and balance of Power Drain, I should say, weakness. Window of Opportunity, Stun. The defender starts the fight stun immune. Whenever they would be stunned, the attacker is instead stunned for 4 seconds. That sucks. Melee lasts for 12 seconds, then goes on cooldown for 12 seconds before returning. Well, you better take advantage of those 12 seconds, especially with the BS rank 3 6-star health of those defenders. Hazard Shift, Incinerate Poison. Striking the defender has a 40% chance to inflict the attacker with an Incinerate debuff, dealing 30% damage over 7 seconds every 7 seconds. This is swapped for a chance to inflict poison. Well, you better bring some immunities into that path. Path identities. If you like to plan ahead, the Grandmaster is happy to provide you with a list of all buffs on all nodes across the maps. There are lots to look at, so we've attached the list of nodes in the next post. Okay, that's good, right? Okay, matchmaking updates. The Grandmaster wants to ensure that his tournament stays as competitive as possible. To do so, he is updating the parameters of matchmaking. The reward changes are really what people care about, right? I hear all the time, Prof, I use my glory for potions and revives, which takes away from my chance to buy, say, Tier 5 Basic and Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst Fragments, and so that actually is a net loss of what I would do if I just did Alliance Quest. And on top of that, I just don't feel like the Alliance War rewards in general, especially for lower tiers where you're not at the very tip of the top, they just don't feel good. And I'm tired of dying to Annihilus, etc. So I just want to know, for those of you who are still loving war, right? Like, when you read this, do you feel excited? I do love that Life Transfer is in some of these nodes. That is a pro player node that actually helps refill your health if you fight aggressively. but it does look like the expert, as always, and rightfully so, I suppose, will be where the most risk reward is involved. I still think it would be nice if they put some life transfer nodes into the intermediate hard challenger and expert and made that more of an expectation at times. Let's say you survive a champion, but you lose half your health, and the next one's life transfer. You have a chance to get some of that health back. But I'm reading all of this. It reminds me of like I used to look at war like multiplication, and now it feels like calculus with all these nodes. And then you used to think rank 5 stars were the worst defenders you'd face, and then there were 6 stars, and there were rank 2 6 stars. Now there's rank 3 6 stars, and next year there could be rank 4 6 stars. It seems like it is a guarantee at some point for emotional burnout. And I want to know if you feel that way, or if you are one of those people, and there are plenty out there, I'm sure, who feel like Alliance War is the only reason why they still play the game in the first place. So they like a challenge, but I'm sure you also want to see an improvement in the rewards from top to bottom. So what rewards do you think would make it more tempting for you to do Alliance War? Or are you at a point like me, no matter what they do, you're just happy not doing war? I will never go back. People have asked me, Prof, what will it take for you to go back to Alliance War? Nothing. I will leave the game before I go back to Alliance War because I'm just so much happier, especially with my busy schedule and my arena grind. I'm just happier doing my own thing. I feel like I am semi-retired. Alliance Quest is the only Alliance-type activity that I do every month, and it is very enjoyable, and I'm not ticking off my Alliance mates by my arena schedule and my YouTube schedule, except for when I need to clear them in Map 5, which of course is also Map 5. It's not Map 6 or 7, but that's what makes me happy, and I really encourage everybody watching this. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you enjoy the game, because if you don't, you're going to get burnt out and you're going to leave in the blink of an eye. It's just how it happens, and I see it happen every week, unfortunately. So let's try to do what we can to enjoy the game and not have too much stress. Please let me know what your thoughts on these new changes in the comments below.